We spend our entire lives running from the cold. We want the sun without the winter. We want the victory without the scars. We want the triumph without the trial. We want to be strong without ever being tested. We have built a world of climate-controlled comfort where we never have to feel the sting of the wind or the bite of the frost. We adjust the thermostat. We avoid the difficult conversation. We choose the path of least resistance. We hide from anything that makes us uncomfortable. But in the Stillness Smithy, we know that a blade that has only felt the fire is a blade that will shatter. Heat makes the iron soft. Heat makes the metal fluid. Heat makes it pliable, easy to shape, glowing with possibility. But if you want the steel to hold its edge, if you want it to cut through the resistance of life, if you want it to be unbreakable when the world strikes back, it must be plunged into the cold. The fire is only half the story. The cold is where the transformation becomes permanent. In the forge, this is the most dangerous moment. The iron is white hot. It is glowing with potential. The carbon has been absorbed. The impurities have been burned away. The blade has been shaped with precision. But it is weak, softer than butter. If you leave it in the heat too long, it simply melts away. It loses its form. It becomes nothing. To become a weapon, to become a tool of purpose, it must face the quench. The smith takes the screaming hot iron and plunges it into a bath of ice-cold water. There is a roar of steam. There is a hiss, a violent collision of opposites. The blade shrieks. The molecules are shocked into place. The atoms of the steel are forced into a new, tighter architecture. What was soft becomes hard. What was fragile becomes unbreakable. Hardship is your quench. The moments when you are alone, when you are broke, when no one believes in your forge, when the world tells you to quit, those are not bad times. Those are not punishments. Those are not signs that you are on the wrong path. Those are the moments your soul is being hardened. The cold is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It is the final step in your transformation from soft potential into sharp reality. There is an ancient Japanese practice that the modern world has forgotten: Misogi. It is the act of ritual purification. For centuries, warriors and monks would stand beneath freezing waterfalls in the dead of winter. They would strip down. They would walk into the icy torrent. They would let the freezing water crash against their bodies until their skin turned blue. They did not do this because they enjoyed the pain. They did not do this because they were masochists. They did it because they understood a fundamental law. To purify the spirit, you must first conquer the body's desire for comfort. Misogi is the decision to walk into the storm voluntarily. It is the choice to face the cold before you are forced to. It is the realization that your fear of the cold, your fear of discomfort, of hardship, of struggle, is a chain that keeps you a slave to your environment. When you stand in the freezing water, everything else disappears. The noise of the world vanishes. There are no notifications. There is no past. There is no future. There is no later. There is only the now. There is only you and the cold and the choice to remain standing. There is only the steel. And in that moment, you realize something profound. You are stronger than you thought. You can endure more than you believed. The cold cannot break you unless you choose to break. Most people wait for life to throw them into the cold. They wait for the crisis, the failure, the loss. They spend their comfortable days unprepared. And when the storm finally arrives, when the quench comes without warning, they shatter. Because they were never hardened. They were never tested. But the master smith practices the quench every day. He chooses the difficult path when the easy one is open. He speaks the truth when a lie would be more comfortable. He stays at the anvil when his body is screaming for rest. He takes the cold shower when the warm one is available. He does the hard thing, not because he has to, but because he knows it makes him harder. If you want to be unshakable by April, if you want to build a life that no storm can uproot, if you want to become the kind of person who does not break under pressure, you must start seeking the cold. Stop asking for a lighter load. Stop praying for easier circumstances. Stop wishing for a path without resistance. Start asking for a harder quench. Ask for the challenges that will forge you. Welcome the discomfort that will harden you. Embrace the cold that will make you unbreakable. Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, am I staying in the fire because I am afraid of the water? Are you clinging to comfort because you fear the transformation? Are you avoiding the hard path because you don't trust yourself to endure it? Do not be terrified of the shivering. Do not be afraid of the silence. Do not run from the cold. The blade that never leaves the fire melts. The blade that never meets the water stays soft. Only the blade that has been quenched can cut. One day, time will leave you. Make sure it leaves, knowing you didn't just melt in the heat. Make sure it leaves, knowing you faced the cold. You sought the quench. You welcomed the hardship that made you unbreakable. Make sure it leaves, knowing you were hardened by the cold. Welcome back to the forge,